Now, the European Commission is to announce later today whether it will slam record fines on Google over unfair business practices. The Commission alleges that Google breached its antitrust rules by favoring its search engine and browser on phones running its Android operating system, as well as forbidding phone companies from selling other products which don't use its software. Well, joining us live from Brussels with what this means is Euronews correspondent Brian Carter. Brian, this is another big ruling against Google. Can you tell us what to expect today?
Good morning, Tessa. Yes, it's expected from the European Commission today to impose a heavy fine on Google. Some sources say it could be as high as 4 billion euros. This is the third antitrust case that has been brought by the Commission against Google. And this time, as you said, is because of Android, the operating system that works on the mobile phones and that equips roughly 2 billion phones around the world. I'm joined now by Agustin Reina. He's the competition advisor for BEUC, the European Consumer Organization, that was also heavily involved in this case, in bringing this case against Google. Agustin, thanks for being on the show with us. Can you explain to us what is this case really about?
So the European Commission has been investigating whether Google has deployed a strategy to strengthen its market dominance in the sector of general search. How they have been doing this? Basically by forcing that in every single Android phone that is sold in the European Union, in the single market, there is always Google Search as a default option. So which means that consumers will only find on those phones those Google services, preventing that competitors also enter the market.
What will the Commission's decision today change for mobile phones and for consumers in Europe?
Of course, depending on what the Commission decides today and what will be the remedy, in the sense of what Google will have to change concerning their practices, we can expect a much more open ecosystem in which consumers should be able to find a wider variety of phones with different settings and not only those running on Android with Google Search as a default.
Google has defended its case, saying that the Android system is open source and that it also provides app developers, which is, of course, a big economy, with a secure and safe environment. What do you think about this line of defense?
Well, Android is open source, but only in theory. Due to these practices, we cannot say that it's really open source in that way. However, this case does not concern any type of measures that relate to security or certain standards to ensure that developers can actually make the best out of it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Back to you, Tessa. We'll be following, of course, this case closely today.